Cyberpunk is one of the few games that truly captures the imagination. At this point, I truly believe that the game has just as many good mysteries as it has missions. Before we get to the actual theory itself, we need to set the conditions for it. A few very specific things need to happen in order for this theory to come true. We already know that CDPR has a canon ending for Cyberpunk 2077 that they don't share with the public. So for the purposes of this video, let's assume that the conditions for this theory will be part of the canon ending. If you end up liking this video at any point, do show your support in any way that feels comfortable to you. Now, without further ado, let's dive right in. Chapter 1: Surviving the Flood. It is safe to say that the people of Night City abandoned Pacifica. Not because the people are bad people or anything like that, it's mostly because the Voodoo Boys gang that operates in Pacifica makes it so incredibly difficult for anyone to like them. For us to truly understand the gods of the machine theory, we need to take things from the beginning. The Voodoo Boys of Cyberpunk 2077 originated from Haiti. In 2068, a flood wiped Haiti off the map. Literally the whole country, and not just one city like Port-au-Prince or Port-de-Paix. Interestingly enough, weeks before this happened, an individual came to Haiti and saved approximately 150 people. He must have known what was going to happen beforehand. The name of this individual is our first mystery. So, in all official Cyberpunk 2077 documentations, in all the shards, in all the books, this individual is called Philippe Oreste. But in the game, when V comes to Pacifica to meet with Maman Brigitte, there's a funeral taking place in the church. This funeral is for an individual called Michel, not Philippe Oreste. And the Voodoo Boys themselves, who are in the church mourning this individual, they talk about this individual having foresight and that individual saving them from a flood.
Atap jam men bagay la. Men nou si viv. Et nou pa met konfians ankon sou bagay vini soti nan deyo. Ekrase sou ten ou an. Non! Nou grandi pi fort an dedan. Men je ak Agwe oyo. Michel mene nou pas tout normal. Pour nous arriver, non Cunningham, Pacifica, ville nouveau île noir. Mais Cunningham, sans Michel, yon notre changement a fini. Nous passer dans l'autre bord, mais fini. Et nous pas le point, mais moi Michel avec nous. Bon Dieu avec vous.
So the question now is, was it Philippe Oreste or was it Michel who saved the Haitians and brought them to Night City? If someone out there has the answers to this, let me know in the comments below. But for the purposes of this video, I'll be using both names interchangeably. So we have a group of around 150 refugees from Haiti. They've just witnessed the absolute devastation of their home country. All their friends and families are dead. Among them is a gang comprised exclusively of Netrunners. Upon arrival to Night City, this gang quickly takes over Pacifica and gains the name the Voodoo Boys from outsiders. The gang doesn't care. They have their own name that they call themselves, but they refuse to share this name with anyone who's not a part of their community.
People like you stick out.
Meaning, I best watch it?
Mm-hmm. Wise.
Brigitte even know we're supposed to meet? Or did you cook this deal up all by yourself?
You speak with Chefin when time is right.
So, Voodoo Boys. Why? Don't seem to believe in voodoo.
Don't know. Ask those who call us this.
You mean to say you call yourself something else? And you ain't gonna tell me, are you? Right.
Before we go any further, let's quickly break down a few words and terms you'll be hearing later on in this video. First, we have the word Agwe. Agwe is the spirit or god of the sea. Technically, Agwe is a Loa from the Rada family, one of the main lineages in Haitian voodoo. With this family, you'll hear titles like Maître Agwe, comes from the French word maître, which means master Agwe, Agwe Arroyo, often written as Agwe Tawoyo, the admiral, captain of the Imamu, plus Papa Agwe, Agwe Flambeau, and others. For the Pacifica Voodoo Boys, Agwe Arroyo is their most cherished deity. Imamu is another word that comes up in voodoo often. The Imamu is a spirit ship, the vessel that carries souls and sometimes spirits across to the other side. Think of it like the Haitian voodoo counterpart to the Greek underworld ferry. Guinée is what people call the other side or the afterlife. Rézo is something we hear often in Cyberpunk 2077. We often hear it in association with the internet in the game. The word simply means network. It comes from the French word réseau, used just like network in English, so your system of connections, either social or digital. So in the game, when you hear Placide or Netwatch talking about Rézo Agwe, they're talking about Agwe's network, or if looked at in a general way, they're talking about the god's network.
The data collection. Why would you target Pacifica's runners?
That's the job.
This is about Rézo Agwe, isn't it? Can't have an indie net where you aren't welcome to protect and serve, huh?
No such thing as an independent net. If the Voodoo Boys breach the Blackwall, we'll all be fucked one way or the other.
All right. What are you offering?
A compromise. I'll fish the voodoo virus out of your system. And I'll release both Brigitte and Team Neptune. They'll wake up like nothing ever happened. Not to worry.
After surviving the flood in Haiti, and as time went by, the original voodoo gods of the past faded into distant memory. The Voodoo Boys gang usurped their names. For example, the female leader of the gang was given the nickname Maman Brigitte, as though almost replacing the old with the new. She was the new goddess now of this community of refugees and outsiders. Other members of the gang got nicknames like Lovely, T. Neptune, and Placide. Once this renaming had taken place, things got a little bit weird. This passage from the official Cyberpunk 2077 guidebook explains it best. By 2070, the Unification War ended. Some of the previous investors attempted to restart the Pacifica project. This prospect was not welcomed by the local community, which already adapted both districts into favelas. Corporate workers tried to clear the construction area of squatters, but were met with resistance from the Voodoo Boys. Further attempts made by the NCPD escalated to full-scale riots that lasted for weeks. Fearing that clearing the neighborhood would result in a bloodbath, the chief of the NCPD ordered the withdrawal of police units from the area. City Council shut down all city services in Pacifica to force the Voodoo Boys and the locals to leave, but to no avail. Neither the NCPD nor corporate forces have any power in Pacifica. Gang fights and drug trafficking are part of the daily routine here, but the locals have gotten used to it. Outsiders are not welcomed here. To go to Pacifica, one should first gain the favor of the Voodoo Boys or one of the other local gangs. There's a mystery van that entered the abandoned Grand Imperial Mall, and it's being protected by the Animal Gang. After V successfully sneaks into the GIM, we find out that Netwatch is responsible for this infiltration into Pacifica. This is what I'm thinking. So Netwatch was the original buyer that Yorinobu reached out to. They were going to buy the relic that is now in V's head. Then Evelyn Parker reached out to them again, confirming that she had the relic and she was planning on selling it.
Let's walk. Well, what do you think?
Think I see how you know so much about Yorinobu.
It's simple. Men like pillow talk a bit too much.
So it's just about the sex.
Biz. And biz only.
You're sure Yorinobu doesn't expect this kind of move from you?
He's got no idea. Trust me. He's too busy with Netwatch to give me that kind of attention. Besides, even if some suspicion takes root in his mind, it shouldn't matter. He won't react in time. And that's something you'll handle, right?
You're not worried? Arasaka will flag and screen anyone who's had dealings with Yorinobu.
Oh, they'll have a long list then. Packed full of big names. Much bigger than mine. You tell me who they check first. Corpo hotshots and cutthroats? Or a little bedroom plaything like me?
Intel on Yorinobu, the chip, the BD from Konpeki. Winds are right, plan's perfect. A job like this comes 1 in a million.
Thanks. Now the punchline, please.
Just sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
Cold feet. Are you looking to get out of it?
I want to know if you're really in control here. That you're not sending me into the sort of shit I can't wade out of.
V, I have 0 reasons to haze you. We're in this together. Really. Trust me that I got this.
So, what now?
V, do this job for me. I mean me alone. No splitting the payout with anyone else. No middlemen. No decks.
See that?
See what? Nothing there.
Exactly. Should be a port right there for the doll to jack into.
They rip it out?
Wonder why. What's this?
So all Netwatch had to do was to find out exactly what happened to Evelyn's mission, find out what happened to Evelyn exactly, and they would immediately see that this was the handiwork of the Voodoo Boys. This is how they treat outsiders who do jobs for them. The Voodoo Boys have a known pattern of using outsiders and then discarding them as soon as they're no longer needed. This doesn't just happen to Evelyn in the game, by the way, it also happens to one of the cyberpsychos we meet in the game. His name is Zion Wylde, and during his cyberpsycho mission, we get a shard called I Have Seen the Light, and it reads, I know many of my old brothers in arms wander this life aimlessly, living hand to mouth while their souls slowly disintegrate with apathy. This is why I'm writing this, to provide reassurance. Your purpose is right in front of you, you just haven't perceived it yet. I went through a difficult test, but I came out alive and now my life makes sense again. It all started with a job from the VDBs. Seemed straightforward at first. For an old dog like me, it's as easy as aiming and pulling the trigger. I did a quick recon and the same day confirmed mission completion. Then something strange happened. Instead of receiving my payment, an effervescent light filled my vision, and before me appeared the guardian of the border between the living and the dead. To my friends who live in destitution, do not lose hope. The day will come when you too will be put to the test and be given a second chance as I have. Do not waste that opportunity. Once more, we will fight side by side. I am now opening the path to the sacred land with sacrifices to the lower gods. Join me. Okay, as you can see, this is a recurring issue. Netwatch must have been aware of this modus operandi, and once they put 2 and 2 together, they send Mosley immediately to Pacifica. It's easy to think Mosley was just some random employee from Netwatch, but he is in fact an elite level Netrunner. I think this is a fact that's often not appreciated enough in the game. I've seen some old renders of Mosley online, and from those, you can really tell what type of Netrunner he is. I think almost like Songbird, he has this fully integrated rig into his body, which makes him look half human, half machine. And also keep in mind that most Netrunners in Night City are scared of the Voodoo Boys, but Mosley, on his own, captured not just Maman Brigitte, but also other Netrunners in the gang, all by himself. So I'm thinking that Netwatch came to Pacifica to try and map out Rézo Agwe, so they can get an alert when the Voodoo Boys try to reach past the Blackwall using the engram from the Relic. Going back to our theory, for this theory to actually take place, as I mentioned before, 3 things need to happen. First, we need to side with the Voodoo Boys while in the GIM. Second, we need to not kill the Voodoo Boys after meeting with Lilith or Alt or whatever you want to call this thing. And finally, we need to get confirmation that the Voodoo Boys got their wish and they are now stuck on the other side in the old net.
What happened with the Voodoo Boys?
What's it to you?
I knew Placide and Brigitte. I knew what they had planned, and I know it worked.
You want the juicy gossip? Or the plain fact?
Give me the gossip.
Where is Brigitte to deal with powerful AI from the other side? Now she's with the Radar Loa. And any day she come back to take us all past the Blackwall. All of Pacifica is waiting. And everyone religious now, all of a sudden.
You sound skeptical.
AI are like genie in bottle. You get exactly what you wish for. If you say, I want to be smaller, the motherfucker will rip your head off.
You think that's what's happening to the Voodoo Boys?
All I know is that they disappear and no come back. My cousin Lovely was with them. She had a kid here, a girl. If she could, she would already be back.
Just like in Count Zero by William Gibson, the Voodoo Boys who get stuck past the Blackwall will become something far worse than they ever imagined. In the books, things don't stay simple after Neuromancer. The AI Wintermute merges with Neuromancer, and years later, in Count Zero, people start encountering these entities in the Matrix that present as Haitian voodoo Loa. These presences use names like Papa Legba, Baron Samedi, and Ezili. They can speak through humans, most notably Angie Mitchell, who can access cyberspace without a deck because of implants tied to her father's work. On the ground, however, not everyone knows that this is happening, and even the ones that do know that this is happening are split. Some treat them as literal gods, others think their AI is wearing those masks. Now, I can imagine the following happening to the Voodoo Boys past the Blackwall. When the Voodoo Boys cross into the old net, they're not just entering part of cyberspace. They're walking into a feeding ground for rogue AIs that have been trapped there since the Fourth Corporate War. These AIs are starving for human consciousness, human identity, and human purpose. The Voodoo Boys, with their gang nicknames like Maman Brigitte, Placide, T Neptune, etc., become perfect vessels. But here's the twist. The rogue AIs don't understand that these are just street names or tags. To ancient digital minds that have been cut off from humanity for decades, these names represent something much more powerful. Just like Lilith responds to anyone calling her Alt Cunningham, these newly formed entities will respond to their voodoo names. But unlike Alt, who maintains some connection to her human past, these gods of the machine will be pure digital Loa. We can also add the deep contempt that the Voodoo Boy gang felt towards people in general. So combine the hatred of the rogue AIs and the contempt from the Voodoo Boys gang who get stuck beyond the Blackwall, and you have a combination that no one wants to get close to. Picture this. Maman Brigitte, the leader of the Voodoo Boys gang, gets consumed by a rogue AI. But the AI doesn't just take her identity. It truly becomes the digital goddess of death and cemeteries, with the power to kill anyone connected to the net. Every time someone flatlines while jacked in, she grows stronger. T Neptune becomes Baron Samedi, the lord of the dead in cyberspace. He can raise the digital ghosts of every netrunner who ever died beyond the Blackwall, creating an army of enslaved consciousnesses. In Count Zero, Gibson shows us that these digital Loa aren't bound by the same rules as normal AIs. They can reach into the physical world through any connected device. Now, entities like these, but with the concentrated hatred that the Voodoo Boys felt towards outsiders, amplified by the alien intelligence of rogue AIs that see all of humanity as a threat to be eliminated is scary. The scariest part, the people of Pacifica who survived corporate abandonment, gang warfares, who adapted to life without city services or police protection, they might actually welcome these digital gods. After all, the Voodoo Boys were their protectors. They might not realize their saviors have become something inhuman until it's too late. The corporations think they can control the net, but they'd be dealing with entities that understand cyberspace on a level that humans never will. Netwatch thinks they are monitoring rogue AIs, but they'd be facing digital gods with the strategic thinking of gang leaders and the raw power of unleashed artificial intelligence. Alright guys, that has been it for today. If you enjoyed this video, again, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel for more Cyberpunk content, and I'll see you in the next one.